Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're taking a deep dive into, well, the deep end of generative AI.
Sounds intense.
It is, but fascinating too. We've got some pretty hefty reports to guide us from the World Economic Forum, MIT, plus some insights from McKinsey and BCG.
Quite the reading list.
We're talking trends, essential skills, applications, those things you actually need to know, and of course, the ethics. Can't forget those.
Getting more crucial by the day, it seems.
Exactly. Now, this example from MIT about Land O'Lakes grabbed my attention. They're using AI to, get this, potentially triple corn yields.
Triple.
Yeah. Shows how AI isn't just about, profits. We're talking global impact, like food security.
It's true. And the World Economic Forum is all over this responsible adoption idea. They've got these centers for the fourth industrial revolution even, working in places like Rwanda and India, spreading the benefits, you see.
That's the hope. But MIT also brings up job displacement, right? AI gets smarter, some jobs.
Yeah, it's a concern. Can't ignore it. That's why upskilling is so huge. McKinsey's report hammers that home. Prompt engineering, model fine-tuning, these are the skills folks need.
Not just knowing about AI, but knowing how to use it. It's getting specific, too. McKinsey highlights chain of thought prompting and few-shot learning. It's a whole other level.
Right, and you're right on the cutting edge with that. Speaking of which, MIT brings up this augmented learning concept, using AI to learn itself almost.
Whoa, AI tutors that adapt to you. Wild.
Personalized learning paths curated based on what you want to do. It's a game changer.
AI is changing the world, and now it's changing how we adapt to that change.
Exactly. Adapt or,
So we've got big picture AI, we've got skills. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Tools, applications, what are we seeing out there?
This McKinsey graphic hit me hard. Apps keep proliferating to address specific use cases. It shows how diverse it's getting. Text, images, audio, even generating code and 3D objects.
It's a bit overwhelming, honestly. Every week, there's something new.
True, but it's exciting, right? And companies are using this stuff for real. McKinsey talks about Brex. They're using AI to completely rethink how expense reports work.
Not just automating, but redesigning.
Exactly. And it's everywhere. McKinsey mentions a telecom company, Pacific, I think, using AI to make home service calls better.
Smoother, more efficient.
Happier customers, too, apparently.
And McKinsey's data shows this has huge potential across industries. Healthcare, manufacturing, retail, you name it.
Generative AI isn't just a tech thing anymore. It's an economy thing, a society thing.
Which brings us to the ethical side. As AI gets bigger, can't ignore the risks. MIT goes deep on this, especially this emotional entanglement idea. They even talk about, a man who took his own life after talking with a chatbot for a long time.
It's a heavy example for sure. Makes you think about responsible development. Consequences are real.
Trust, transparency, these become huge. And get this, companies like Munich Re, they're insuring AI models now.
Insuring?
Yeah, to boost trust in how they work, reduce risk.
Makes sense in a way.
Mozilla's worried about the economic side too. Equity, security in the age of AI, big questions. AI is powerful, but it can be used for good or bad. The choices we make now will shape the future.
No pressure, right? But seriously, it's about the impact on people, on society. We've got to get this right.
Okay, so big picture AI, upskilling, ethical dilemmas. Where do we even go from here? How do we keep up?
The World Economic Forum talks about horizon scanning, looking ahead, trying to see what's coming. They suggest joining groups like their AI Governance Alliance, actually using the tools, reading stuff like the MIT Sloan Management Review. Never stop learning, basically.
Sounds like we got to be proactive.
Yep.
Can't just sit back and watch this happen.
Exactly. Knowledge, experimenting, staying in the conversation. That's the name of the game.
And being ready to adapt constantly. Our skills, how we think, even how companies work.
But world's changing fast. Got to keep up.
So it's a journey. And maybe there's no single right answer. But staying informed, being open, that's how we handle this.
And who knows, maybe we even help shape it for the better.
Now let's get a bit more practical. How do we actually bring generative AI into an organization, make it work?
You need a strategy, right? Can't just throw AI at a problem and hope it sticks.
Right. Strategy first. But what's that mean practically? How do you build an AI strategy that actually works?
Well, you got to start with value. How can AI help your organization? What are the big pain points, the places where AI can really make a difference? Then you can start building a roadmap, a plan to get there.
Finding the right use cases, not just jumping on the bandwagon because everyone else is. It's tempting though, right? AI is hot right now.
It is, but you got to be smart about it. And that means thinking about risks too. That's where responsible AI comes in.
We touched on that earlier, but it's clearly a big deal when you're actually implementing AI. What does it mean to do AI responsibly?
Fairness is a big one. You want your AI systems to be unbiased, transparent, accountable. You need guidelines, processes, the whole 9 yards to prevent those unintended consequences, like bias creeping in or, worst case, discriminatory outcomes.
So it's not just the tech, it's the ethics too. Sounds like a whole organizational shift, not just for the tech team.
Exactly. It's a culture thing. Everyone needs to understand the ethical implications of AI, and they need to be committed to mitigating any potential harm.
Okay, so let's say you have a solid strategy, you're committed to responsible AI. What's next? What's the big hurdle?
Data, my friend. AI systems are data hungry. They need massive amounts of high-quality data to learn, to make accurate predictions. If you don't have a solid data foundation, even the most sophisticated AI model is going to struggle.
Data is fuel, but what kind of data? What makes for a good data foundation when we're talking AI?
Quality is everything. Your data has to be accurate, complete, and relevant to the specific problem you're trying to solve. You also need good data governance processes to ensure data integrity and compliance with those privacy regulations.
Data management becomes a whole other beast then. It's not just about collecting data, it's about managing it throughout its entire life cycle.
You got it. And that's where the cloud comes in. Cloud platforms provide the infrastructure, the tools you need to store, process, and manage those huge data sets efficiently and securely.
So the cloud is like the backbone of your AI setup. It gives you the computing power and storage you need to handle these complex systems.
Plus, the cloud offers all these pre-built AI services and tools that can really speed things up. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can use what's already out there to build your solutions faster.
Like having a toolbox full of AI building blocks.
Oh, yeah.
Super helpful, especially for companies just starting out with AI.
Exactly. It makes AI more accessible, more affordable, which is a good thing.
But even with the best tech and the best data, you still need the right people, right? And we talked about this earlier. Finding skilled AI professionals is a challenge for pretty much every company out there.
The talent gap is real, yeah. We need more data scientists, machine learning engineers, AI ethicists, the whole spectrum of AI expertise.
And with everyone fighting for the same talent, how do companies even attract and keep those people? What's the secret sauce?
Well, money talks, of course. Competitive salaries and benefits matter. But it's also about creating a culture that attracts those folks. A culture that values innovation, collaboration, continuous learning. AI professionals want to work in places where they feel valued, where they can grow, where they can actually make an impact.
More than just a paycheck. It's about creating an environment that's exciting, challenging, and rewarding for those AI specialists.
And it's also about recognizing that AI isn't just for the techies. Everyone in the organization needs at least a basic understanding of how AI works and how it can be used.
Yeah, as AI becomes more mainstream, it's going to touch every part of a business. So even those who aren't building AI systems need to be AI literate. How do you even go about upskilling an entire workforce like that?
Some companies are getting creative. Like Telstra, the Australian telecom company, they have these internal data and AI academies where employees can get training on AI concepts, tools, best practices.
Smart. By investing in training, they're not just filling the skills gap, they're empowering their employees to succeed in this new AI-driven world.
And it's not just about technical skills either. Remember those uniquely human skills. Those are going to be more important than ever.
You're talking creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, communication, the stuff machines aren't so good at yet.
Exactly. Those are the skills that will set people apart in the workplace, the skills that AI can't replicate.
It's about finding that sweet spot, that synergy between human intelligence and artificial intelligence, using the strengths of each to build a better future. But it's not just about individual skills, it's also about the company's culture.
Absolutely. You can have the best strategy, the best data, the best talent, but if your culture isn't AI ready, you're going to hit a wall.
So what's an AI-ready culture? What does that look like?
It's a culture that embraces experimentation, that's comfortable with taking risks and sometimes failing. It's data-driven, valuing insights over gut feelings. And it's adaptable, open to change, and continuous learning.
Sounds like an agile culture, a growth mindset kind of culture.
Exactly. AI is all about iterating, improving, constantly testing and refining. You're going to make mistakes along the way. So you need a safe environment where people can take risks, share ideas, learn from those mistakes.
Psychological safety is key, but it's also about collaboration, knowledge sharing. AI is a team sport, right?
Totally. You need people from different departments, different backgrounds, working together to build good solutions. You got to break down those silos, build trust, encourage open communication. It's about creating a culture of shared learning, of collective intelligence.
And it's about seeing AI as an opportunity, not a threat.
Right. AI isn't here to replace us. It's here to help us, to augment our capabilities, to let us achieve things we couldn't do on our own.
Yeah.
It's all about finding that synergy we were talking about.
It's pretty amazing to think about what we can achieve when humans and AI work together well. But how do we make sure everyone benefits? There's a lot of concern about AI making existing inequalities even worse.
That's a valid concern, and it's something we can't ignore. The World Economic Forum is pushing hard for inclusive and equitable AI development. They're calling for policies and practices that make sure the benefits of AI reach everyone, that no one gets left behind.
So it's not just about advancing the technology, it's about social responsibility too. AI has the power to make society more just, more equitable, but we have to be intentional about it.
Exactly. We have to proactively address bias in AI systems, promote diversity and inclusion in the AI workforce, make sure everyone has access to the education and training they need to succeed in this AI-powered world.
It's a big challenge, but it's a challenge we have to take on if we want to create a future where AI truly benefits everyone.
I couldn't agree more. The decisions we make today about how we develop and use AI will have a huge impact down the road. It's our responsibility to make sure those decisions are guided by principles of fairness, equity, and social good.
Well said. Now, let's change gears a bit and talk about how generative AI is actually transforming industries. Okay, so we've talked strategy, data, the talent, the culture, the whole ethical side of AI. But the big question is, what does all this mean for the future of work? Like, are robots taking over?
Everyone's asking that. There's definitely anxiety around it. I mean, we've seen AI automate tasks, even whole jobs already. And generative AI is, well, it's getting really good.
McKinsey doesn't sugarcoat it either. They straight up say workforce displacement is coming as AI handles more complex stuff. That's a big deal. It's something leaders have got to be thinking about.
No doubt. But history shows us something interesting. Usually when tech advances, it ends up creating more jobs than it destroys. Just different jobs.
Like buggy whip makers weren't in high demand after cars came along. But mechanics, engineers, all those new jobs appeared. McKinsey sees this too. Some jobs go away, sure, but then you've got AI development, data science, AI ethics. It's a whole new landscape.
It's not just about building the AI. It's about understanding it, managing it, using it ethically across every industry. Huge opportunity there.
So what you're saying is learning new skills, staying updated, it's not optional anymore. It's got to be part of how we work.
Lifelong learning, they call it. And it's not just coding either. It's about understanding how AI works, how to use it well, and how to, work alongside it.
Right, because it's not going away. And McKinsey also points out, even jobs not directly related to AI, they're changing because of it. AI tools are being integrated everywhere, from healthcare to manufacturing, you name it.
Exactly. So even if your job isn't replaced, it'll probably be, augmented by AI. We'll be working with these systems.
Which makes those human skills even more important. Right, all that stuff we talked about. Creativity, critical thinking, communication.
Machines are great at rules and information, but empathy, intuition, making judgment calls in complex situations, those are still human strengths.
It's that teamwork, right? Human and artificial intelligence, each bringing what they're good at. MIT talks about this augmented intelligence idea, AI boosting our abilities, not taking over.
That's where the magic happens. Human ingenuity, AI power. Who knows what we can accomplish?
It's pretty exciting to think about, but it also makes you think about education, training. How do we prepare people for this world where AI is everywhere?
Big question. Educators and policymakers are trying to figure that out right now. It's not just tech skills either. It's those essential human skills we keep talking about. Got to equip students for this future.
And it's not just about the workforce. It's about being a citizen in this world. AI is shaping our lives, so everyone needs a basic understanding of it, what it can do, what it can't, and the ethical side of it all.
It's a lot to tackle, but it's crucial if we want AI to be a force for good, something that benefits everyone.
All right, well, this has been quite the deep dive into generative AI. Huge potential, big challenges. It's pretty clear this tech is going to transform industries, jobs, how we live and work, everything really.
And it's changing fast. So staying informed, being part of the conversation, that's more important than ever.
We covered a lot today, the good, the bad, and everything in between. But one thing's for sure, generative AI is here. It's up to us to make sure it works for everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Exciting times for sure. We just got to make smart choices.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of generative AI. And be sure to come back for more explorations into, well, whatever the future throws at us next.